Girl, it's looking like Diddy's situation is starting to impact his whole family, and word on the street is, his daughters might be caught up in the mess too, allegedly. The spotlight is now shifting to his twin daughters, Jessie and Lila. And fans are speculating that they might know a lot more about their father's alleged activities than they've let on. And according to none other than Jaguar Wright, the feds are allegedly monitoring the girls' phones. And baby, if that's true, it is not looking good. So the big question is, what exactly did the twins do to raise suspicions? And did they really try to leave the country? Let's break it all down. First of all, it goes without saying that Jaguar Wright has had serious beef with Diddy for years. She's made it very clear that she can't stand him. But what people didn't see coming is her allegedly dragging his daughters into it now. Word is, Jaguar's fire isn't just aimed at Diddy anymore, she's reportedly going after his family too, starting with his twin daughters Jessie and Lila. It's starting to feel like she won't be satisfied until the entire Combs family is caught in the crossfire now. Diddy actually has 3 daughters close in age, the twins, and his other daughter Chance, who's just a few months older than them. They're all turning 19 this year, which means legally, they're adults. But for some reason, the attention seems to be focused mainly on the twins. So, why? Well, on the surface, it looks like they haven't really acknowledged or addressed their father's situation. Instead, they've been living it up, jet-setting across the globe, enjoying luxury vacations, and partying on yachts. Now to be fair, this has been their lifestyle for as long as we've known them. But with the serious accusations swirling around Diddy, some people, especially Jaguar, think it's tone-deaf for the girls to keep flaunting their wealth while their father is facing disturbing allegations. Even more eyebrow-raising to fans is the belief that the twins might still be quietly supporting their father, particularly because they volunteered to give up their passports last year after Diddy was arrested. Let's rewind a bit. When Diddy was taken into custody, federal prosecutors asked the court to deny him bail, citing concerns that he could intimidate witnesses or interfere with the investigation. They also claimed he had narcotics in his hotel room at the time of arrest and called him a flight risk, pointing out his wealth and international ties. Despite all that, Diddy tried to secure his release by offering a $50 million bond and agreeing to home detention. And honey, the bail package he proposed? It was wild. According to court documents, Diddy's legal team suggested the bond be backed by the equity in his $48 million mansion on Star Island in Miami, a home he paid off just in time for the bail hearing by dropping a cool $18 million to clear the mortgage. The bond would also be co-signed by several family members, his mom, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and all 3 of his adult sons, but it didn't stop there. The bond offer included travel restrictions limiting him to just the Southern District of Florida and New York. Basically, he could only move around for court, meetings with his lawyers, and medical appointments. A separate sealed document was supposed to provide more detail on that last point. Here's where it gets even messier. Not only did Diddy surrender his passport to the authorities in April of this year, he also offered up the passports of several family members, including Janice Combs, his mom, Chance Combs, Jessie Combs, Lila Combs, and even baby Love Combs. Yes, even the baby allegedly had her passport handed over to legal counsel. But here's the twist, the feds didn't bite. They rejected the bail package and didn't accept the passports. So, the girls ultimately got to keep theirs, and now, this is where all the current speculation is coming from, because there are reports floating around that the twins may be trying to leave the country. Allegedly, this is why the feds are now watching them more closely. Some folks believe the girls might have critical information and that their movements are being quietly monitored as part of the broader investigation. Whether or not that's true is still up in the air. But when you look at the timeline, the optics, and the involvement of people like Jaguar Wright, who's made a name for herself by spilling alleged industry secrets, it's not hard to see why rumors are running wild. So what do you think? Are Jessie and Lila just 2 young women caught in their father's fallout? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Could the twins really be under federal surveillance? And why did they volunteer their passports in the first place? Sound off in the comments, because this is definitely a developing situation, and it looks like things are only getting messier from here. So what exactly are Diddy's daughters allegedly running from? Well, word on the street is they might be trying to make an escape before things truly hit rock bottom. Let's be real, before this legal mess blew up, Diddy was sitting pretty, with an estimated net worth close to $1 billion. Now, that number has reportedly dropped to around $400 million. And yes, while that's still a ton of money, let's not pretend that losing over $500 million doesn't sting, especially when there's a lot more on the line, and it could get worse, much worse. If Diddy is found guilty of the charges he's facing, he could be forced to forfeit everything. According to federal indictment documents, the government is looking to seize all securities, property, and contractual rights tied to the enterprise he allegedly operated. Any and all proceeds, direct or indirect, from the alleged offenses, and real or personal property used to commit or facilitate these crimes. In other words, if Diddy goes down, his fortune goes with him. And that includes the luxury lifestyle his children, especially the twins, have always known. Now here's the thing, Diddy's daughters, Jessie and Lila, have made it pretty clear in past interviews and social posts that they don't have much interest in college or getting a traditional job. They've grown up surrounded by wealth, glamour, private jets, designer wardrobes, and red carpets. So if the cash dries up, that's going to be a very hard adjustment. So what does that have to do with the twins allegedly trying to flee? Well, here's where things get interesting. Rumors have been circulating that Diddy set up offshore accounts for his kids, just in case a situation like this ever happened. And that's where the passport situation starts to make a little more sense. When Diddy's legal team offered up his bail proposal earlier this year, they volunteered not only his passport, but also the passports of his daughters, Jessie, Lila, Chance, and even little Love. At the time, fans were confused. But now, some are putting the pieces together. One fan broke it down like this: they're likely the names on the offshore accounts. The feds don't want him moving money overseas or paying people off. Those accounts can't be accessed without going in person, so surrendering the passports cuts off the access. In short, the government may suspect that Diddy stashed money abroad under his kids' names, and if that's true, then keeping the twins grounded is a way to keep the money from moving. Of course, fans are now saying the girls might know a lot more than they're letting on, maybe even that they know Diddy is going to lose this case, and they're trying to cut their losses before it all collapses. And naturally, Jaguar Wright had something to say. She claimed that Diddy used to control his kids financially, allegedly holding the purse strings tight so they'd stay in line. Now that things are spiraling, she's implying that the kids, or at least the twins, may be trying to take back control, or simply run before it all catches up with them.
You're dealing with the kind of control freak that Diddy is, and you raise children under that. The financial abuse for all of them is probably the worst, because there's no way they can make money without him. He has them locked in. And if he falls, who's gonna hire them? Who's gonna fund them? Who's gonna look out for them? No one. Right. No one. They're not fighting for their father, they're fighting for their survival.
Honestly, it's hard to blame the girls for trying to cut their losses and dip. High school's behind them, college isn't in the picture, their dad might be heading to prison, and if there's serious money sitting in those offshore accounts, you know they'll want access fast anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to check out the next video.